traveling through the internet. Through ones and zeros coded into light, I am reaching out to you on the other side of the world right now. Indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me again. Again. Another day, another moment for us to actually have some conversations. Another moment for us to, and this might be completely biased, of course, but in my opinion, another moment for us to acknowledge the truth of that which we are. Today's title I felt came so beautifully synchronistically. Isaac, dude, you're first on the YouTube? Shannon. Shannon is going to absolutely, I think she might have just joined, be like, what? What? There she is. Shannon, thank you so much for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you. Isaac, thank you for joining us with the bear. Today's title on the Reddit is If the Universe Had Hands, It Would Look Like You. Hmm. Bought a new bomb yesterday, so taking a break will have. I think maybe Isaac, maybe enjoys JoJo's death. Oh, you approach me. I'm curious as to what it looks like. Can you describe it? Maybe tell me the colors of it. But yeah, like on a serious level, this topic today, like we got to touch on it lightly, and technically I've had it on my list of topics that I would like to talk about for a while now. But just this understanding that I could see it almost. I imagined the universe as a whole, the infinity, and then within this infinity, all of this we see, right? Like inert matter, if you want to call it that. And then within this inert matter, us arise, as these human beings. And then because of us as human beings and our autonomy and our ability to influence our realities, the universe can use us as human beings as hands to influence itself as inert matter. And I could see all of this like transpiring in front of me, and I was like, yes, you are the hands of the universe, friend. What does that even mean? I don't know. What does it mean to you? Tell me, please. The base is like a flash. The spout comes out like a curvy science thing. Very basic, but has a nice dusty dark blue glass on the bottom. Okay, I think I can see it. I might be seeing it incorrectly, Isaac, but I think I can see it. The hands of the universe. I hope that the hands of the universe that is you protects said little bomb, that it doesn't get absolutely wrecked. I don't think I've ever, no, I actually haven't. I haven't ever owned a glass bomb. I don't know if it's because I haven't wanted to pay for one or because I don't trust myself with one. Maybe there's like some sort of balance to be found there. Good day, Mel. Why is it in shadows and friends? So freaking amazing having you here. Thank you. Thank you, beloved Jovan. I need to go and get Ermius Plur. Like I was feeling so much peace, love, unity, and respect in that moment that I was like, where is Ermius Plur? I have washed the dishes. I have done meal prep. I have done a lot of contemplation. I feel kind of good. How are you feeling, friend? How's life been treating you? The hands, eyes, there we go. Yeah, the hands, ears, eyes, and voice. Exactly. So the reason I chose only the word hands is because your hands can technically be all of those things. Your hands can be your hands. Your hands can be your ears in a weird way where you can like read braille, for example. Your hands can be your eyes where you can feel things and kind of interpret. And of course, your hands can be your voice in typing or being able to make music, as the universe. So yes, all of those things at the same time. Man, you seem so happy. Rusty, messy. I'm not happy right now, but I'm definitely in a mood. This mood of contemplation, this mood of feeling. I'm realizing more so than ever the significance of patience, and it's a little bit of a trip. It's It's a trip. I'm learning how to be patient within patience. It's like there's layers to the patience that we have to achieve eventually. And I'm trying to become more and more patient. How about you, friend? Have you noticed anything that you have to be more patient with? And didn't even take a sip of water. The way that I think about it from this perspective of, hands again, the hands of the universe, that if you're not patient, if you're grabby or if you're angsty, you hurt your hands, right? Like imagine all of the times that you were just moving with such anxiety, with no purpose, and then you hurt yourself by walking into things, or you cut yourself, or etc. etc. And weirdly enough, I haven't been hurting myself as much anymore, right? Like I went through a stage at the start of this year where I felt like I was in some sort of haze where I would walk into things and I would cut myself and I would, have mosquito bites and then scratch these mosquito bites and I would just be hurting myself, drawing blood from myself over and over again in all of these different ways. And I felt like it was, at the same time as it was inconvenience, it was also a call to awareness in a way that I could actually pay attention to it. And then it kind of transpired into where we are right now, and not having hurt myself in a while, and like being careful and being aware, being gentle with myself. Like I almost cut myself severely, cooking food, and it was within that situation, within that experience, where I almost cut myself again, where I remembered that whole pattern of like the anxiety to get things done. And as soon as I noticed that, I was like, no, actually, I don't want to be like that. So I'm paying attention. I'm trying to pay attention. Lavender Jones, what a pleasure to have you here, Miss Molly. Molly, so nice to have you. Thank you for joining me, Fred. How are you doing? What's your sign? The infinity symbol, friend. My sign is the infinity symbol. At least that's the sign that I identify with. But if you're asking what my star sign is, I'm a Taurus, apparently. The bull. The hands of the universe. I feel like creativity is the thing that I think about when I think about human hands. Right? Just think about how much human creativity has been expressed through hands. So, creativity. I'll just write creative. Creative! These hands of us is the universe used for the intention of creation. How about that? You, friend, your life as the ultimate creation, and your hand moving creation. It's a whole trip. Jasmine is officially back to work today. What a pleasure that is to hear. How's her cough? Do let me know. I hope she's feeling a little bit stronger, Isaac. I'm guessing if she's back at work, she might be. Meld, do you think yoga had helped you with your awareness, moving your body with breath and intention, making mental space and physical space feel more as one? I feel this might be, it sounds, at least in my opinion, like a pompous answer, but I've always experienced a sense of oneness. But I think the yoga definitely helped. Yoga especially helped when it comes to synchronization of my breath. The way that I breathe versus the way that I move. That I definitely noticed. It also allowed me more awareness over my breath in general. I feel like I was practicing breath awareness long before I started yoga, but then I got to do yoga with breath awareness, and that's something that Ryan actually introduced me to, and that's helped a lot as well. I feel it's another tool. Yoga is a pretty cool tool for awareness training, and it has definitely helped, Isaac, unequivocally. I'm curious as to what you friends have noticed. Like I think we started doing yoga in February of this year. Might have been February of this year. Officially started doing yoga. And it definitely has helped. It has helped me, create a little bit of calm in my mind before these streams as well. And now I'm teaching them. Now I'm actually like, not only have I been practicing yoga daily for I missed one day for like the last 4 months or something. But on top of that, I'm now the teacher of the class I used to take, which is amazing as well, dude. Like that whole transition has been so cool. Good morning, fam. Hey, Mel. Hey, Mariah. So nice to have you here. I'm a bit tired. My mini me is getting hit really hard with allergies. She refuses to blow her nose, so it makes it so much worse. Just like kids sniffing in the background. I'm happy to hear Jasmine is back to work. I'm happy to have you here. Thank you, Shannon, for sending love to our friends as well. What's up, Shamsky? How are you, friend? So much love. Coco! Hey, thank you for joining us, friend. Sun salutations. An old boyfriend of mine told me that one. I wish I could remember it. You wish you could remember sun salutations? Sun salutations starts with at least you can, with like hands at the heart. Then as you inhale, sweeping your arms up. And as you exhale, folding down, keeping your hands, well, and then inhale, lengthening, exhale, folding down again, placing your hands on the ground. You can either step your feet back or jump them or float them back, coming into like an upward dog, pushing yourself back into a downward dog, from the downward dog, kicking your feet back up into the normal forward fold, inhaling, lengthening your spine, exhaling, folding deeper, and then inhaling, bring your hands to your chest. That's like a sun salutation. Little quick one. Thank you, friend. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing some of your, little fractals with us. I'm okay, just tired. Thankful for the chives, thieves oil, and crab apple essence. How are you, Mark? Sounds right. Thank you. Thank you, Coco. Like, do try. Like, you don't have to do sun salutations in and of themselves. Just moving is great, great already. I appreciate you moving through time and space to be in this moment with me now so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mm. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, Isaac. Mel, it makes me really happy to see that transition. I appreciate it. Like, we're gonna continue growing, friends. Like, that's one of the beauties of life. I couldn't have imagined where we would be today when we started, and yet here we are. Who knows where we'll be in another 500 days. Hmm. Hmm. Hands of the universe. This is the one. I feel this is the one. It goes, become completely aware of the magic all around you and your ability to influence that flow. Become aware of the magic all around you and your ability to influence that flow. You are free in this moment. You are as free as you'll ever be right here in this moment. That this moment is your freedom. I spent some time thinking about that again today, actually, when it came to this moment of like thinking about brain damage. It might be a little bit morbid, I'm sorry. I was meditating and I was contemplating brain damage. Something so weird, like I mean, it didn't feel weird when I was contemplating, but now vocalizing or articulating it is like, it's a little bit odd. But I was thinking about this context of people being in accidents, losing certain parts of their brains, and then still being conscious, still being aware, but not being themselves. And I was imagining or picturing trying to live into the understanding of being someone with brain damage, being consciousness, and this whole understanding that the brain isn't the thing that generates consciousness, that consciousness is something that the brain tunes into. And if the brain has pieces of it missing, it can still tune into consciousness, it just might not have access to all of it. And I was like, thinking about that. What do you friends think? Imagine if we still had foot hands like monkeys. I mean, I've seen a human being that still has one of those foot hands, where the thumb kind of comes out like this. It's a whole trip. I was like, goodness. I mean, we have tailbones as well. It's a whole trip. We even have the DNA for it. Yoga had always helped me feel calm. Tai Chi was a fun class too, though. Congratulations on being a yoga teacher. I was going to say you'd be good at it. Thank you so much, Infamous Sock. I mean, being good at it is one thing. I feel I might be getting good at it, but having clients, that's a whole other thing from the start. Hopefully, as I keep getting better, I'll be allowed more clients. I feel like yoga as a practice can be something so beautiful, even if it's just the act of showing up for something, you know, and you friends know how much I believe in showing up for something, and yoga can be, in my opinion, you showing up for yourself. Like where yoga actually means, I think, a relationship with yourself. Like I might be mistaken on that, but that's what yoga is supposed to be. It's a relationship with your breath, with movement, and with yourself in that balance of breath and movement. Thank you, Sock. I appreciate your encouragement, friend. Molly with I do Tai Chi range of motion exercises daily. A body in motion stays in motion. A body at rest stays at rest. I've chosen motion. I love that so much, Molly. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Like I feel my uh, explanation of that idea or that understanding is a little bit brutal. Like I like to say, only dead things don't move. Right? So if you want to be a not a dead thing, start moving. Miss Molly. An object in motion wants to stay in motion. I choose motion. I love that so much. Thank you for teaching me as well. Can you DM me some of the moves you do, please? I'm very new to it. Thank you for asking if I'm gonna suck. I hope she does. Aiden joining us as well. So nice to have you here. Sounds right. Healing energy. Thank you so much. Pushing for usual. Really appreciate it. It's been a struggle with allergies for a bit now. She always does every year. Thank you, Shannon. She'll be fine. The only thing that I can think of is to recommend local honey, but you probably know that already. Aiden, again, brother Bay. So nice to have you here. I think you might have sent me a message. I might not have got to it. I'm happy to hear that, Mark. Good to see you. Howdy, Mark. Hi, Shan. So nice to have you, Aiden. Straight up, Hadouken in the forward direction. Bro, foot hands would be fantastic. Like, that is just so useful. Definitely jealous of the monkeys. I feel in part maybe, but in the other part, I'm imagining like the logistics of shoes if we had foot hands, you know, and what shoes would look like. Would we want to keep our shoes mobile? Would we keep them rigid? Like there's a whole trip that comes with that understanding or imagination. Hi Isaac, how you doing? You've been like genuinely missed, Aiden. It's so nice to have you here with the bear. Congratulations, yoga teacher. Exactly. Dead things don't move. Yes. Only dead things don't move. Depressed things don't move sometimes too. I feel depression is almost like a release into that death state. Depression is the want for that death state, maybe, is the right way to say it, right? And I remember my time of being depressed was very much filled with this perpetual story, illusion, narrative, that's the right word, of wanting not to be here anymore. So depression, by extension, is the madness to not move. Yeah, yeah, and it's difficult, right? And the crazy thing, the paradox rather, is the fact that movement helps for depression. Where if you actually move, and we've done studies, like extensive studies on this right now, we have really good data with people actually moving themselves, moving anyway, a walk, taking their dogs out, just going and sitting in a park for a little bit. All of these things have been shown to have some benefits to the brain. But as a depressed individual, you don't want to believe any of that. You don't even want to do the things that you know will help you. So I get that as well in my sock. Eventually they do, or I do. Oh yes, you definitely do, Miss Molly. Sometimes we have to, and we have to realize that we can. And I'll probably do a whole stream on this topic as well. But we got to touch on it yesterday. In the same way, you have autonomy over breath. Like you can choose to breathe manually right now. You have autonomy over your thoughts. In the same way, your breath kind of has this perpetual cycle that kind of continues without you needing to have an active part in it. Your thoughts do the same, but you can always choose to take that control of your breath back, to choose to think something else. Right now, in this moment, for instance, if we're going to be talking about creativity or just being creative in the context of hands, I'm just gonna write down hands. Creative hands as our intention for today. Creative hands it is. Gloves, foot gloves. Oh, I barely wear shoes already. If I had feet hands, I'm definitely fully abandoning shoes. I'm just imagining Isaac as like the Beast. Is it called the Beast from X-Men? Where it just hangs upside down. I believe he has foot hands. I think so, at least. I might be mistaken, but I do believe he has foot hands. Just seeing Isaac hanging, on Iden, hanging from, below, hair kind of dangling in the air. Oh goodness. The foot hand human society seems to be vibing. Like we would probably do everything differently. We probably even build our buildings differently and everything. So might completely change all of our humanity. Makes me think a little bit about the everything everywhere all at once scene of the hot dog hands where the primordial ancestors killed all of the other ancestors that didn't have hot dog fingers and then there was just hot dog fingers. Oh, the freaking feet hands or hand feet. I don't know what you're supposed to call them. Doing well, been a bit chaotic in my routine, trying to channel some positive habits and motivation. If you figure out how you channel that, like send it well, dude, teach me as well. I definitely am trying to do the same. Currently, taking a tea break. Today, I'm feeling grumpy, but I'm having a more clear head and helping with good habits. It's not about bad, it's about balance. Thank you for showing and for, encouraging us to have that balance as well with the bear. Did you see the Maldives are building a floating city? Planned to be taking residents in 2024. Of course they are. Of course they are, Isaac. They freaking stole our idea, dude. That's what happened, man. We said it on stream, and now they're doing. I mean, it's just the next step of humanity, right? Like it's an ability to utilize the 70% of the surface area of our planet for housing as well, while not displacing animals, while actually being able to like the way I imagine my future cities is that all of the excess electricity that the cities produce gets channeled back into the water. You can literally cool down the oceans with our cities. But I don't know how efficient that will be. It is something that I imagine though. I feel you. Hey, Isaac, I'm trying to start one soon. My plan is 10 days before my friend comes to town, so I'm nice and clear for fun. That would be amazing, dude. Like, it would be such a cool thing to do for your friend as well. Trying to clean and work out today. You've got this. You so got this. The workouts have been pretty great here as well. I feel I am going to have to up my workout routine when I get back home. I don't think I'm exercising as hard as I could be, but that's sometimes seems to be the case no matter what we do, right? You should look it up. It seems pretty interesting. I know the Maldives are pretty forward thinking when it comes to climate protection. I'm going to definitely do that. If you'd be willing to send me like a link to the information that you know about right now, Isaac, I'm so fascinated. Like I've been kind of like thinking about this idea for so long right now, and I think it might be one of the coolest things that we can do as humanity in the future because we would be able to move our cities. It might be difficult, but we would be able to do it. Would be pretty cool if we could. Mm, Hoping for your continued healing and moving. Thank you so much, Infamous One. What are you grateful for every day? Other people. Wary Pangolin. Other people, dude. I really enjoy my own company. Like, really enjoy my own company. But only in moderation. And only because I know that I can have the other side of a conversation, being able to spend some time with another person. If it wasn't for other people in this world with us, I think we would lose our minds pretty quickly. And there might be some individuals, and if I had to hear myself saying these words 10 years back, I would probably not be agreeing with me. Like we all have these illusions of grandeur when it comes to the apocalypse and imagining ourselves as these superhero-esque characters, living out on the road alone, just getting by. But no, 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 no. I really enjoy being able to have conversations with people, being able to see human behavior. So I'm grateful every day for human beings, and by extension, for the ability to be loved and for my ability to love. How about you, Wary? Very cool question, friend. Hey, Raya. Hey, Melt family. Sending love to you all. Eternal blessings to you, brother Ryan. Today's intention for our little marijuana cigarette is creative hands. Creative hands. Kind of touching on this idea that we as human beings are the hands of the universe. And I really like the way that I got to say it in the title as if the universe had hands, it would look like you. You, friend. You. The hands of the universe. 5 little fingers, 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, 5 finger, 4 finger. You, as the hands of the universe, multifaceted, your hands terminate in smaller hands, your fingers smaller terminate into different appendages. Like I'm just imagining the head as a finger right now, and all of the things that the head finger can do. Is this weird? I'm sorry, it's weird to me as well. But it is pretty fascinating to imagine yourself as an actual hand of the universe, and the connection, the arm connection that you have comes through your head, right? And then you're connected to this larger body, and everything you do can be in service of this larger body. But in the same way that cancer cells are technically still the body, but a dead cell who now wants to consume, without limit, basically wants to kill the things around it as well. We can be that as well. We can be that as well because everything is possible within infinity. But within this understanding of us being the hands of the universe, we get to be active parts. We get to use our hands in positivity and love of the universe instead of to hurt it, take away from it again. You look like Chris Pratt. I do. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Thank you, friend. I do not mind being compared to such beautiful individuals. I'm curious. I'm so curious as to what the future is going to hold for us. It's been such an experience just learning what this is, and I feel if it was any differently, maybe I wouldn't be able to deal with it. So everything is as it should be, right? Like on a very, very real level. Nothing could be differently. That as the hands of the universe, we have done everything we can for things to be as they are. But that's not the end of the story. No, siree. Not even close to it. I'm feeling a little bit aloof today, even. Like I'm feeling as the hands of the universe. Feels like I laid on my arm and this hand is like asleep. Like if I was the hand of the universe, I feel like I'm a sleep hand right now or something. Sorry, that was a typo. No problems whatsoever. Protection, sure thing, but thank you so much, Isaac. It's completely okay as well, Coco. Thank you, friends. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. 2 creative hands. Your hands as creative hands, right? Like you can be creative in so many different ways. So in celebration of all of humanity and the creative hands that we have. I don't even know if I can show you this, but I'm gonna try. For your information, marijuana is a drug. Thank you, friend. What would I have done? If not for you, I would have been aloofedly been smoking all of this drugs this whole time. Damn it. What can I do? What can I do now that you've educated me? Right. It's something so arbitrary, something so simple. But that, dude, just that, Mr. Just Say Please. I'm happy that you're having a good time with me, friend. The fact that it's so beautiful. And it doesn't have to be, I don't have to smoke it, right? Like, I burn incense as well, for example. And just seeing this almost entity, this aliveness coming off of something that's burning, it's so trippy. And, the thing that I've been thinking about especially is the fact that that is happening. All of the turbulence, all of the you're seeing when you're looking at smoke, that is happening just with you breathing right now. You just can't see it. So with every single breath you take, you are introducing turbulence to the infinity. More chaos, more information, more melty goodness. You can't help but change the world, friend. You literally cannot help but change the world, Greg's. Helpful. Just sends me a helpful reward. He could have sent that helpful reward to anyone. Literally anyone on the whole platform. But no. No. Instead he chooses to send it to me in this moment, allowing me to share these words with you in this moment. Having irreversibly changed my life by just choosing to share in this moment. Maybe changing all of our lives. Maybe this moment is so significant. Glad I woke up to you, bud. Glad you're awake. Greg, I'm so glad you're awake, friend. Whew, another day. Breathe in deeply. Believe that it will be beautiful. Believe that you can make a difference. Awakened anarchist, so nice to see you here again. Sometimes our vibrations are lower, and that's true. It is all still conspiring perfectly, but that is the ebb and flow of it all. Until we transcend dualism, sometimes you're the hand of God and just a bit sleepy. Yes, exactly, anarchist. And I feel even if I'm sleepy, the hand can still do the things, right? You can still kind of make it do the things. I'm doing things. I'm doing things, right? Am I doing the things? You're like, yes, Mel, doing the things. Thank you, friend. I'm happy that I'm doing the things. Sneaking over here to see the smoke. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jovan. You were right. And I was thinking about you specifically, Jovan, while I was trying to show this. So me and Jovan got to have this conversation about smoke as well. And the exhale is a little bit too noisy, but the smoke that comes off as you light it and you inhale and then you release the tension, the pressure, the suction, the vacuum, the smoke kind of like flies out the front end again, and then that smoke is usually very beautifully intricate. So it's a little bit difficult for me to capture that perfectly. I do want to. I mean, maybe I see a whole fractal if we could do something like that as well. I imagine being able to share the thank you ritual, for example, and then maybe showing the smoke in that way. But that's a whole other thing. Kira Burr. I see you, Fred. Love to you, Sunshine Sister. Thank you for joining me. Feeling a bit discouraged. It's the third time I've been cancelled and rescheduled for oral surgery. My one phobia is the dentist. It takes 3 hours one way drive, and I was already 35 minutes on the road. Miss Molly. So, I hear you on the feeling discouraged. I do. I honestly do. But me trying to always find the beauty, the light in every situation. The way that I imagine these obstacles that you're facing right now, these things that are coming in your life that you might feel, this shouldn't be this way. Maybe this fear of the dentists, right? Like could have been manifesting something. And then if you went to the dentist these 3 times that you were supposed to previously, maybe there would be something that happened that would warrant said fear for the dentist. And in your divine wisdom, you made sure to not go to the dentist those times and missed him instead, even if it took you 35 minutes on the road already to realize that this wasn't the visit you're supposed to go on. Now the next one will be even more fine. In a contrived way, I'm saying thank you, Miss Molly. Thank you for still showing up for yourself in that way. It's going to be fine when you get there, and it's going to be perfect in the moment that you're supposed to be there in. That's so frustrating. Sorry, Moss. Congrats for doing the things. You're doing very good. Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Calls my mom. You hear that, mom? People are sending me positivity. Thank you. I'll send over some positivity, miss. I appreciate that, Gregs. It actually means, at least it means something. Within a universe that has so much nothing, you doing anything means something. And just realizing that that is the power that you hold. That within the infinite nothingness, the infinite you. Stop at a new place on your way home, mouse. Give yourself some extra love. What a good idea that is, actually. Stopping by before I head to work. Sending love to you too. I appreciate you joining us, Brother Joel. See you again very soon, friend. Maybe tomorrow. Have a good day at work. Me too, Mel. Me too. Love you, Shannon. Love you so much. What a day. It's beautiful here in Ohio and here in the stream. Isaac, makes me happy to see. I mean, beautiful day. I don't exactly know what Ohio is supposed to look like in my mind, but I see a beautiful day. Being hands as a large, as needs be, and as small, we can affect minute details with the most of care, yet we are the space that encapsulates all. We can hold it. We can hold a tiny flower while holding the world. That's it, dude. It's this paradox, and you can imagine Mama Gaia as a hand that is holding us as well. And it's just like hands holding from a place of love, holding from a place of support, all the way down. And to believe that you're supported in that way, friend, to believe that the universe is in support of you right now in this moment. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here to even have this moment. Created with the blue sky. I have a few straggly clouds in my blue sky right now. Usually it's pretty clear during the winter, so thank you for sharing that as well, Shannon. Today in summer solstice, grateful to be under the same sky, friend. We're all under the same sky, friends. We're breathing the same air. We're in the same atmosphere. During our lives, we will literally breathe the same air as one another. Literally. Actually, Red Liquor, so nice to see you. Thank you for joining me, friend. Always a blessing. How have you been? It's been a while. I did. I broke myself a new battery for my van with the gas money. I feel better. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that as well, Miss Molly. I hope it's a little bit more reliable that way. Thank you for the silver, anarchist. I appreciate you choosing to share your free reward with me. You're a good way to start the day, Mel. You make us smile with yours. Have a good day, brother. Greg's, thank you for that. Thank you. Honestly, I've been in my own head most of all because of that. Interestingly enough, Greg. So you're reading my mind and giving me the compliment I need right now, dude. This feeling of, am I not providing? Like, am I? Yeah, it's like I don't even want to say it. That's how insecure I am. Am I not entertaining? Am I not entertaining? Are you not entertained? Right? And like just thinking from this perspective of the internet as a whole and what the internet is and what works, if that makes sense, Greg. Like what works. And then knowing that I can be doing things that in quotation mark works. And yet the things that works is not the things that I want to be doing. So this battle of, is me doing what I like doing and what I think is valuable just because I like doing it, or is it valuable to other people as well? So to see someone like you, Greg, an external node of the infinity tell me that it is in fact seen as something that's valuable to me. So thank you so much for that. I hope you have a good day at work, Joe. Thank you for the love, Joe. I appreciate that so much. I miss you, Mel. Just working a lot. Everything is in its right place. Exactly. And with all the time that we've been separated, Red Clicker, right? Never separate. We were still part of the same infinity the whole time. But in this part, we're separated. here we are again in this moment. We get to share this place. So thank you so much for just being in this moment with me. You are, you are the good vibe in human form. This outputs good vibes into the universe. Thank you, Gregs. You're allowing me to, sending me good vibes right now as well. You are also, in fact, good vibe in human form. You are valuable and worthy, Mal. Thank you. Infamous sock. Thank you, friend. I appreciate it so much. Just giving attention is what people need. Just receiving attention is enough. Where's my attention? Infamous sock. Attention, attention. Attention, attention. Infamous sock. Infamous sock. Infamous sock. Attention, attention. Yeah. Let's remember that. The creative hands, friends. Thank you for using your hands in a creative way, right? Like pressing little buttons, constructing a reality of feeling for me. Literally hacking the matrix, the infinity right now, right? Like instead of experiencing one side of the infinite faculty of the universe, I'm experiencing your faculty of the universe. And thank you from Infamous Sock with a laughing face. She looked like the joy. I can't even imagine the joy that she must be feeling, just allowing to be seen in this moment. So realizing that we have that, that as the hands of the universe, we get to, smush the universe's face and be like, so much love to you, friend. Thank you. Sock around you. Thank you for the love as well, Red Liquor. To the creative hands that is us, and our creativity in the way that we share love with one another. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. I'm thinking about every single human being that has ever existed. 100 billion of us. At least 100 billion anatomically correct human beings have existed, apparently. Who knows? Right now, at least 7 billion of us exist. 7 billion hands, 7 billion instruments, 7 billion beings that are contributing to this whole at the very same time. That's a lot of information. Don't you think, Uncle Beckers? With a love. It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to have you here, Uncle Becky. Thank you for joining me, man. How are you doing, Brandon? Oh, Sam Brown. It's nice to see you, friend. Thank you for joining me. How are you? Hey, Sam. Thank you for sending love to Sam as well. I appreciate that, Shan. Grateful to have met you all. 137 days of change, thanks to the space and the love that lives here. Wow, are you serious? So, what was your first day of joining, Isaac? Was it in the day 400s? I'm guessing it was like day 400, right? What a trip, dude. Is that right? That can't be right. Is it? I feel like I've known you so much longer than that, but it might be. Just souls resonate. Isaac, I see you in the bay. Thank you for joining me. 137 days of change thanks to this space. Like that is still something that trips me out to this day. And I was having this conversation with Christian yesterday where ever since I came over to come and stay with him again, he's been really passionate about writing his book and he's been showing up for his book. And we got to have a conversation and I shared my admiration for him in his willingness to write it. And he reflected back to me that if I'm doing anything right, that this willingness to show up is the one thing that he admires the most. And you've shown up, Isaac. You've shown up with me, friend. You've shown up with me so many times that we can't help but, grow closer. We can't help but have an experience, feel things because of that. And even though, we've shown up for so many days at this point, it's only right now that we're showing up for. Like, even though I've become so different, very, very different. At least conceptually, contextually, from the first day we did these streams, we're still the same awareness. And I was, again, thinking about it in this context, if there's some sort of traumatic brain damage, where you lose a certain part of your brain, there can be, rather, certain parts of yourself as you would consider yourself as a human being that gets lost. Memories or certain functions, like it's a whole trip to me in this perspective of what consciousness is, and how that awareness is influenced, how that awareness is like affected by it. How your awareness is like affected by these conversations, for example, right? Like, no matter what the receiving end of it is like, it it is a beautiful experience, a full experience. That no matter how limited or full of an experience you're having in this moment right now, that it's infinity. That even a fraction of infinity is still infinity. And it's like hard to fathom. Like, and to put it into simpler terms, if what you consider a idealized full life is a one, and you only live zero point 0.1 of that life, that one is the infinity symbol. And zero point 0.1 is 0 point infinity symbol. You cannot make mistakes. You can hurt people, and I would highly encourage you not to. But living your life for love, you cannot make mistakes. You got this, friends. Hands of the universe. Talking about hands of the freaking universe. Slav from down under. Oh my goodness. I scroll to the infinity to melt me some more. Look at this. A Slav, literally has transcended, has gone from one state of existence into a whole different state of existence, right? Like oh goodness, let's not even get into it. Into this new state of existence, having survived, having transcended, this fear, having, gone beyond what any of us can even imagine. Like, I know Slav. Slav is like, I'm going to kill you, Mel. You can't. I'm all the way on the other side of the world, Slav. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for spending a moment, for using yourself as the hands of the universe to send love in this moment to me. I think it's going to start. I'm going to start the History of Arpan series tomorrow for the Blackout. We're going all the way back. I'll be streaming clips and telling the story of this place. Please. Brother Brandon, if anybody could, it would be you. Thank you today for being so dedicated to this space. Love to hear, man. Haywire Hill, a revival station. Honestly, feel like a god today. Just today, Slav? Just today, friend? Slav is back and improved. Oh, yes, she is. Yes, you are, friend. Yo, like my heart, I cannot even explain. I feel like I'm going to explode. Yes, breathing. Drinking water. Yes, gravity. Okay, yes, I'm a human being. Thank you, Slav, for sharing yourself with us. Like this is so beautiful. Goddess, literally, watch this space. We are winning together as legends. We are manifesting the reality that we know we deserve. Slav, and if you're not a beautiful example of that, oh goodness, in so many levels, I don't know what is. I'm so happy to be sharing that with you in this moment. Thank you for allowing yourself to be seen. I think I've missed a few here. My first day was 400. It was an emotional stream that really resonated with me ever since. Here I am. Here you are. Huh? Doesn't it feel? It's kind of weird, Isaac. I feel like in that case, then the last 137 days were longer than the first 400, and this whole understanding of how the emotional state of consciousness influence the perception of time. Layers, dude. More layers. The more we show up, the more there is to be seen and shared. This is the way. Mariah, thank you so much for showing up, for being seen, friend. I appreciate so much the ability to share. I'm right with you, Isaac. The space has truly been such a blessing in more ways than I would have ever thought possible. Truly changed my life. When I say I love you all dearly, I mean it with all that I am. Thank you. Thank you so much, friend. Like you friends have done the same for me. That's the part that like really boggles my mind is that I know with the in part with how much depth I can feel and how much you friends have allowed me to feel. So if there is any indication, right, and I believe every single one of us are nodes of the infinity. So again, even if you feel but a fraction, that is still you feeling into the infinity. And then, I mean, like, just in this moment, for example, 25 plus me, 26, we have 9 friends in the YouTube right now. Like, if there is 30 souls in this space right now, and just join some more. Thank you for joining us, beautiful soul. Joining in this space, right? Feeling in this space, having an experience instead of having no experience whatsoever, and just realizing the significance of a single person. Hands of the universe, being able to influence, being able to reach out to one another. Have a J for me. Here we go. Today's J's intentions, love, and I got to actually smoke too for you, as you know, is creative hands. So blessing your creative hands as well. Have a J for me. Love you more than you know. I love so many people. It is brutal. It's hard sometimes. I know, it's love, because you feel like you're not doing enough because of how many people you love and how much love you want to be able to give them. But if you had to give all of the love you wanted to give to every single person you wanted to give it to, you would die. You would just melt into goo. Actively trying to hold ourselves into pieces. Love's love, ever so. Oh, Red, thank you so much for sending that beautiful message. I can't wait to hear your voice. Same. Same. Like, unironically, I'm already hearing it in my head, to be completely honest. Let's try to his face. Being able to know people, even if we're never physically come into contact. Proof of love being stronger than the physical. A truth. A truth that we find. And truth is something so elusive, What is good is so elusive. What is beautiful might be simple. And yet we have all of that. At least I believe we have the good as love, we have the truth as love, and we have the beautiful as love as well. The unifying force that is all of us, our ability to love one another. Thank you, Isaac, for being willing to share that with me, friend. I appreciate it more than I can say. Slav says, gotta have a blade of grass and underpant teary conversations. I have experienced it and I will be standing on the stump in Texas. Just watch me. You watch me. I love that, Slav. 100% double, triple encourage you to go and stand on that stump. I actually want to really stand underneath that half fallen tree. I want to see that wood. Maybe want to cut myself a little piece of it out. Make myself another stick. I haven't actually been keeping my stick close. I brought it, but I haven't been keeping it close. You were like, what the hell? What are you talking about, Mel? Let me get my stick. The stick is calling to me. I called the stick Melita. That's another friend that uses the streams. Stick. So, I want to make myself another stick when I come to. I mean, if I come to the Haywire Hill. Who knows? We're gonna stand at the tree. We're all gonna hug there like legends. We're going to be shaking the entire universe of the absolute waves of love that our hearts will be generating, melting every single bit of hatred from the human consciousness. As we choose to show up for love actively, love will be showed up for actively as we continue to go forward. Eventually, we'll get there. Wherever there is. There is going to be here now, then. Alright? And if all we can do, if the only thing we can do is be happy right now, I hope you are. I do hope you are, friend. We cross infinity with every step and we meet eternity in every second. Who said that? Rabindranath. Ooh, Rabindranath. Tagore. Rabindra. Rabindranath Tagore. That's a freaking, oh, that's so cool. That is such a cool name. Man, is die pronunciation. In vergelijking met Rabindranath. That name is so hardcore. I'm imagining, like, when I hear names, I like to imagine the person and the name attached to them at all stages of their lives, right? Like I see them as a baby with the name, and then I see them as like a 5-year-old, then like a 10-year-old, then a 15-year-old, and a 20-year-old, then a 30-year-old, 40-year-old, right? And that name, like I'm imagining calling like a 5-year-old Radindranath. Oh goodness, I would like summon him like a demon every single time I had to call my kid probably. I've been preparing. I've sweat enough for all of us for a week. Uncle Becky, thank you Mother Bear for doing what only you can do for all of us. I appreciate it so much. Make melted cherry tree stick. Can see it clearly. I would love that. I would love that so much. You know, maybe like have a whole little stick collection. Think of them as ones. You can think of them as ones in a way, right? Like I've been thinking about magic in this context just of body movement, and I guess it can technically go beautifully coincide with today's topic of being the hands of the universe. If you're the hands of the universe, what the universe wants to use you as the hands of the universe for is to stir that which is the infinity, dark matter. You're like, the fuck? What did you just say? So, technically, if you look at the spin of our galaxy right now, the stars on the outside are supposed to be lagging significantly behind the speed of the stars on the inside. Because the stars on the inside have a smaller distance to travel around the center point, the massive black hole in the center of our galaxy. And these external ones have to travel a significantly longer distance to go the same, speed around the center. But what we find is that these stars almost match the inside stars for speed traveling. So instead of the galaxy spinning quickly and then slower and slower and slower and slower on the outside, it goes shh, like it spins almost like an axis completely around itself. And the only way that's possible is if we have 5 times more mass in our galaxy than there are matter in our galaxy. So the actual stars and the little planets surrounding them we see, they have to be 5 times heavier, or there has to be 5 times more stuff holding them together for it to be the way that it is. So I believe in this moment, everything that is matter is basically from the center point, and that's why things go into spheres, from the center point extruding into reality. And then us on the surface of one of those spheres as a planet, being a human being, having this autonomy over stirring this infinite dark matter that we're protruding into right now, right? So this little stick can be used as a little wand in stirring the dark matter, right? Making symbols instead of dark matter. Yes, infinity. More infinity into the infinity. Or that can all just be the ravings of a mad person. I wouldn't put it past all of the words I just said. It does create a sense of feeling in me, though, right? I don't believe it, but it does feel like an experience. Lay off the pipe. The jazz trains. Don't you tune me, dude. Don't you start. I know all of the stuff I'm talking about. It sounds like insanity. That's why I'm prefacing on both sides with like, I'm not saying these things are true. I'm just explaining illusions of grandeur or like imaginations, if anything, and then you get to feel from that. Just got two 1950s era wood lathes. You did? That sounds amazing, dude. You are going to make his own. I would love that. I'll stick behind him, a guy, just hands like a Patrick Swayze ghost. It'll be romantic. I'm just imagining Uncle Becky's beard in my neck, and like that is the part like where I draw the line. Like I would be able to manage, him like leaning over me, guiding my hands all romantically, but then feeling his beard in my neck, I would be like, Uncle Becky, please. I can like, I'm so sorry. I tried, dude. I tried. It seems. Thank you, I love that so much. It's been a good day. It's already Wednesday in Tasmania. That is true, actually. It's already Wednesday somewhere, friends. Thank you for your existence, Mountain Uncle Becky. Let's hug soon with both arms. Oh, I look forward to its love. Your being here is so synchronous as well. It's crazy. I love you so much. I have to restore both of them, but I've done a good bit with them so far. Thank you, Little Bay, for giving them new life and new homes. Yeah, lay off the pipe. Love to you again. Hey, good morning, Melt. All the best. Mr. Paul, I saluteth thee. The master of the garages himself. I'm just imagining like this whole, kingdom almost. King of the garages. So every single person that has a garage has to answer to the king of garages. The man himself, Paul's Garage. Or, as he saved his name in Reddit, the Tiffitif Rav. Yes. I'm having a good time, Paul. I'm having such a good time just allowing myself to be in the hands of the universe. And we do the same thing with our own hands, right? If we're in a certain social environment, we don't know what to do with our hands. Do I keep my hands still completely? Do I fiddle with something? Do I... Right? And we can create so much tension, especially in photographs, for example. So much tension around what our hands should be doing. And in the same way, we can trip ourselves out about the same. What am I supposed to be doing? And just realizing that in the same way, you can have your hand rest on your leg, not expecting it to do anything until it has an opportunity to do something. Let yourself be. Actually, just let yourself be. As Aunt B joins us, like Aunt B got to share, and it's like seared into my memory. Aunt B was sharing a stream where she was walking and showing the Haywire Hill, and she was showing us this like made peacock. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. It was like someone replicated a peacock, and it was this, beautiful little manifestation of someone's creativity. And while showing us this, she said, "Do what you can with what you have, where you are." And like if you're doing that and you're not hurting someone and you're doing the best you can by the four agreements as well, being impeccable with your word, right? Doing the things you want to do, not taking anything personally. Like we're all going through shit. Not assuming things. You can't know how much shit we're going through. And then doing your best. This world will change, friends. And we don't have to change it today. We don't have to change it tomorrow. We just have to change it eventually. Might take us a few decades, but we got this. Don't stop, not stop. Good morning. Thank you again for sharing your light. Thank you again for allowing yourself and for the light to be seen, friend. I appreciate you so much for sharing some time with us, Krista. How are you doing, friend? Switch from the sipping mode. I imagine myself as a video game character for a moment, where, like, if I press A, I take a single sip of water. And if I press X, I take big gulps. And I was like, why don't I press the X button ever? And I'm like, because the X button has a longer cooldown ratio or animation. Damn it, I'm overanalyzing my own human behaviors. Being a human being is weird sometimes, especially in this context of being the hands of the universe. Because it can feel, and I'm not saying again, I'm not saying that's the way that it is. It's an idea that we share from this perspective of something to contemplate. And sometimes I'll say the most ridiculous things ever so that you can, with your autonomy, with your conscious awareness, find the perspective that suits you. Within ridiculousness, within ultimate noise, an image. So on a very real level, in our computer technology, for example, you can have a screen that is white noise, right? Like, and that technically is called white noise, and it's maximum noise on your screen. And then in between that maximum noise and the screen being completely off, there is the image that you could be seeing right now, for example. And realizing that that is the nature of all of reality, that there is noise, and that you are the antennae that makes an image, a signal out of that noise. And just acknowledging yourself as that. Hey, brother dad, the bearded patriot himself. It's so nice to have you here with the bear. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing? How are you doing? Like now, when you show up, brother Dan, I have this whole fractal of this type of things that you look at, right? Knowing that you have this fascination for flowers and the small little creatures like the frogs, for example. I see that whole understanding just reading your name at the bay, and it's such a pleasure having you here. Thank you for allowing me that experience as well, seeing the fractal that is you. Thank you. Thank you, friends, for spending some time with me, for allowing me to share the fractal that is Meltmore with the fractal that is you. The fractal that is Melt with the more, right? Us, both of us, as the exact same consciousness. And I'm thinking now, I'm imagining myself as you watching me, right? And I don't know if that's healthy or if it's a good mental experiment to play, but that's what I'm doing right now. Just with this willingness to acknowledge that we're not separate, that we're not separate. And I think from that perspective, if it was me watching myself right now, what would I want to hear? And the only answer that I come up with when I think about that is, I love you. I love you. You matter. Keep showing up. Keep breathing. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, friend. I'll see you again tomorrow. Very, very soon. Love you. Thank you, beloved friends, eternally for blessing me with your presence, with your time, with your consciousness. I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye, everyone.